Good morning, one and all. This is Udayashri, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering in St. Peter's Engineering College. My MTech specialization is in CAD/CAM, and today we are going to learn about the introduction class to CAD/CAM. So, before entering into the subject, let us know the purpose of learning CAD and learning CAM. So, now let us first discuss about CAD. Initially, at the beginning, when we don't have computers and all, when we need to produce some component, we used to make a drawing over a drawing sheet. So for that, what we used to do is we used to keep all the views like front view, top view, side view, if possible isometric view of the component, and then we used to send the drawing for the manufacturing. So here in this process, it takes so much of time, and if there is a mistake in one view, it creates the same mistake will get reflected in all other views, and in such cases we have to redraw the entire component again. And at the same time, if you have a similar component in some other projects, then you cannot use the same chart. If you have the same component with same dimensions, then we have to redraw the same component again, so that you at the bottom you can change the project title and all. So for that, so there is so much of free work, there is so much of consumption of time and money, both the things. So there were so much of human efforts at the beginning. And speaking about CAM, in case of conventional methods, when you don't have any CAM software, there means here in CAM, what happens is computers will take care of all the manufacturing operations. But there, when everything is done manually, because of the machining errors or else because of the manual errors, there was so much of errors that were produced. And at the same time, we used to produce all the process sheets and all the things manually. So here, in case of CAD and CAM, everything will be produced by the computers. In the sense, if you have some component and if you want to make some dimensional changes, if you make changes in this component, automatically the same changes will get reflected in other views also, like front view, top view and side view. So that is the advantage we have if we go for CAD. Similarly, in case of CAM, making of process sheets, selection of tools, deciding of the lead times, deciding of the manufacturing times, deciding about the sequence of operations, everything, speed, feed, depth of cut, everything will be decided by the computers itself. So here, in order to save both time, money and human efforts, here we have introduced CAD and CAM, that is computer aided designing and computer aided manufacturing. So here, see now, computer aided design, computer aided manufacturing. The meaning of word aided, so this is aided. The meaning of word aided is with the help of. It means designing with the help of computers, manufacturing with the help of computers. So if you look at the figure here, see, designing, manufacturing planning and manufacturing control. Till here, these three operations will come under the scope of CAD/CAM. Okay, now if the business functions are also included in this, then this CAD/CAM along with the business functions is called computer integrated manufacturing. Integrated in the sense, see, we have learned integrations in our previous classes. So here the symbol of integration itself is S, elongated S. It means the summation of the things. So here CAD, CAM along with the business functions means additional means combining of these three things is the scope of CIM. It is computer integrated manufacturing. So now let us look at the benefits of CAD. CAD is more accurate than conventional methods. When we are drawing with the scales, there are some chances of getting the errors. We cannot control the dimensions very accurately with our eyes. But here in case of computers, computers will automatically generate the designs, and here there are less scope of getting the errors. Next, modeling and drafting are easy. In the sense, see, before making the component, we'll make a 3D model of some component, and once we make the component, the system itself will produce the front view, top view, side view, isometric view, sectional views, detailed views. All the views will be produced by the computer itself. And dimensioning can also be given automatically. It's up to us whether we want to give automatic dimensioning or else whether we want to keep the dimensions. That's up to the person who is drafting and modeling the component. So like this, but if you look at the manual method of drawing, there the person who is drafting should draw all the views and should give all the dimensions. So here because we are inventing the CAD system, means we are introducing the CAD system into our factory operations, it is becoming easy for us to model and to draft the component. Next, components once made can be copied to any number of times. As I told you, see for example, if a single assembly got so many nuts, bolts and washers, so in that case what we do is we make a single nut, single bolt and single washer, and same thing we copy n number of times. So that is the benefit which we have in CAD. Next, dimensioning and geometric properties can be calculated without making the models and profiles. So now, initially, when we want to invent some new component, what we used to do is we used to make some prototype and then go for the analysis over it, and if there is some error, then we used to remake the component. And for making this components, in order to get the dimensions like length, width and all the things, what we used to do is we used to go for theoretical calculations. But once when we got CAD, now system itself is making all the theoretical calculations, and it is giving us all the dimensions, and at the same time, or after making the component, it is becoming easy for us to make the analysis on the component in order to see its behavior. It means how the mechanical properties are getting changed at that pressure, that working condition, at that temperature and all. So that is the benefit of introducing CAD. Next, modification of a model is easy. It means, see for example, if you have some cylinder of diameter 100 and length of 200 mm, okay, dimensions are in mm. So now if you want to make that 100 mm as 120 mm, if it is a manual method, you have to redraw the entire figure. But in case of CAD, if you make a modification on the diameter, the same change will reflect in all the views, in the model and also in the drafted sheet. So these changes can be done easily if you use CAD. Next, parts can be stored in part library and can be used later. It means if you have made some component and you know that you have to reuse the same component n number of times in different projects, then what we do is we store this part in part library and we recall the same part again and again whenever we require it. So that is the use of CAD, is one of the use of CAD. And next, 3D visualization helps to see the product in different orientations. It means before making the component, what we do is we make a 3D model. So see for example, if you take, this is some component, okay. Now previously what we used to do is we used to make a prototype of some component, we used to test it in all the working conditions, and then we used to decide whether this is working properly or not. But as we got CAD, instead of getting this prototype done manually, what we are doing is we are designing the same model in the system, and that's in the system we can even give some colors to the component, and at the same time you can perform some analysis over the component. So as a result, what happening is without actually making the component, we are getting the 3D visualization, 3D effect of the component along with the colors, whatever the colors we want to make. See for example, if you want to design some car, okay, you can design that car in your software, 3D modeling software, you can even color it. And if you want to check its analysis, it means how it is going to work. See for example, if you want to check how your car is going to behave when it is hitting some wall or something. So now in 3D model you can create a wall, you can make a car, you can make it to hit, and you can see what damages, which parts are getting damaged and how the person getting inside is getting injured. So all these things, everything, even the factor of safety, everything can be seen, visualized, analysis, everything can be done in CAD software. So like this, we are saving so much of time, so much of money and human effort using CAD. So similarly, you have some benefits with the CAM. So CAM stands for Computer Aided Manufacturing. In the sense, see, once the component is done, means if analysis part of CAD is done, then what we do is we document the entire thing and we send it for CAM. In the sense, what happens is in computer aided manufacturing, we'll make a process sheet, we'll select the tools, what tools we have to use for manufacturing, and then we start producing the component. So here the making of process sheet, deciding of feed, speed, depth of cut, and machining time, all these things, even the operations, the quality control, everything will be done by the computers itself. So because of this, as everything is getting automated because of computers, so much of errors are being decreased. So here we have some benefits with CAM. First thing is increased productivity. It means as we are involving computers in manufacturing, it is giving us so much of production. Next, greater operating flexibility. It means you can make so much of flexible. It means it's not like if a person is operating, you cannot make him stand for hours together. But here the computers will work for hours together, and you can even change the program as per your requirement. Say for example, if you are keeping some component now, if if the same person is manufacturing that component, what we have to do is, depending upon the capability of the person, we have to allot the work. But computers are not like that, it's very flexible. So now if you make some turning operation now of some component, step turning or like that, and now if you want to go for some threading operation over the same thing on the same turning machine, now you can change the program, you can produce another component also. So there is so much of flexibility of changing the components, and also you can make the machines to work for hours together. So that is the flexibility you have with CAM. Next one is shorter lead time. Before knowing about shorter lead time, let us know what is lead time. Lead time is the time which you take from once you receive the order from the customer until you supply the product. So the time which you have in between is called as lead time. So everything, the designing, manufacturing, packing and supplying, everything will be, means all the times will get included in this lead time. So here as computers are involved, it is taking less time for machining, and it is taking less time for quality control, and at the same time it is taking less time for shifting the component from one machine to another machine. So as a result, we are saving the time. Next, reduced maintenance. So maintenance is also getting reduced as the human errors are being reduced. It means eliminated. Next, reduced scrap and rework. It means as there are no human errors and as everything is done by computers, it means what we do is, firstly we write a program and we check whether we are getting the required output or not. If that is good, then only we'll install the material on the machine, and then we start working over it. As a result, what happens is there is less chance of getting scrap and less chance of getting rework. And next, better management control. It means managing with the help of computers is also easy. It means it will even give you the schedule of which component should be machined on which machine on which day. So all the schedules, everything will be done by computers. So here in this way, we are saving both time, money and human efforts using CAD and CAM. So next, this is the scope of CAD. Scope in the sense what things will come under CAD. So firstly is recognition of need. So recognition of need is done in two ways. First thing is, we'll study the society. It means what is the present need of people in the society. Okay, we study this, the purpose, and then we invent a new component. So that is one way of recognizing the need. And another way of recognizing the need is studying the existing component and finding out the faults in it. It means what are the limitations of that particular system, and then redesigning the system to overcome those limitations. So both the things we'll get it from the customer itself. It means if you, by taking the customer feedback, or else by ourselves studying what's happening in the society. So that is how we are going to recognize the need of inventing that particular component. So after getting the need, what we do is we give a problem definition. It means this is the problem faced, because we are, means this is the problem which we are facing presently and we need to solve this. So we give some problem statement. After giving problem statement, we give some methods to solve this. It means we design something theoretically. And once the theoretical design is done, so here we make a theoretical design and then we go for modeling. Okay, so once the modeling is done, what we do is we send the model back, and from here, see, this geometric model which we have done will go for analysis. It means like softwares, we use some softwares like ANSYS, Hypermesh and all. So here what we do is we make analysis in the ANSYS software, and then once the analysis is done, then what we do is we go for design evaluation. It means whether the design, means the analysis which we have made is suitable at this working conditions or not. Okay, and now what we do is while making the analysis here, we make analysis using different component, different materials. Like for example, we'll check whether this component which we are making will withstand at this working condition if we use steel, if we use aluminum, if we use copper, if we use iron. So what material is suitable? So we give some material properties to the component which we have made, and then we perform analysis over that, and we see which uh, which component made with which material is more suitable for that working condition. So like this we make analysis using different load conditions and different working conditions, using different materials also, and sometimes we'll make different models and we check its analysis. So like this, once the analysis is made, we take the best part, means we make the optimization. It means the best part which we get. So that best part will be sent for evaluation. So once the evaluation is done, what we do is we draft it. See, here is the drafting. See, here is the drafting. So what we do is, if we are easy with all the designs which we have done and all the analysis which we have performed, what we do is we go for drafting that component. And once the drafting is done, and once you are okay with all the results which you are getting in CAD, and then we go for presentation. Presentation in the sense, we document the model and the analysis report along with the drafted sheets, and these things will be documented as a scope of CAD. And once the scope of CAD ends, here begins the scope of CAM. So now let us see about the scope of CAM. So as I told you, the geometric model which we are making in CAD will get imported into the CAM. So this is the geometric model here. Here interfaces, um, we use different softwares for modeling and for also analysis. It's not mandatory to use different software. We can also make analysis on the same software also. But depending on our requirement, if we want to use two different software. See, for example, if I use CATIA for modeling and analysis for ANSYS. Now what I need is both the software should know a common language to communicate with each other. Okay, so here changing to some standard file so that the model which you have made in CATIA will be read by the model by the ANSYS software. So here what we do is we keep it into some standard file like IGS file and step file. So now once you made the component in CATIA or some modeling software, what we do is we store it in some standard format like step file and IGS file like this. Now once you have stored this in some standard format, now it is capable, the ANSYS software is capable to read this particular file. So now what happens is, this is called interface. So one the program made, the model made by one software can be read by another software. So this is how some other software will read. Next one is process planning. Process planning is, here same thing, we'll keep either in IGS or step file. So this will be given to CAM software. Now CAM software will plan for the process. It means what operation should be performed in order to get this component. So that process planning will be done by the computers itself. So previously when you don't have CAM, we used to do it manually. It means a person who is expert in making the process plans, that is, we call, in engineering terminology we call him as methods engineer. So now such methods engineer will make a process plan. But here as we got CAM, now computers itself are making the process planning. Here also we have three different types of process planning that we are going to learn in coming up chapters. Okay, so here for now you remember that process planning is something where you have a step-by-step process that should be performed. It is step-by-step operation that should be performed in order to get the required component. So here once the number of operations and what operations on which machines should be performed. So depending upon that process, we'll go for NC program. NC is numerical control. So here we have three different types of programs: NC, CNC and DNC. NC stands for numerical control, CNC stands for computer numerical control and DNC stands for direct numerical control. So here whatever NC, CNC or DNC will write some program so that the computer will understand the language and it will perform the operations. Now the difference between NC, CNC and DNC we'll learn in our third unit. Okay. So for now you remember that NC, CNC or DNC, all the three things is writing a program and giving input to the computer. Okay. So once you have written this program, what we do is we start running the machine. Okay. So here the computer itself will run the machines. So here in this process, we'll go for, means when during the manufacturing process we'll go for inspection. So we have two different types of inspections: online inspection and offline inspection. So online inspection is, see for example, if you are making some operation over the first machine and you are making some operation over the second machine. Now before sending the component from first machine to second machine, we check whether the dimensions which we have to get on the first machine are right, means did we get the same dimensions or not. I mean, see, this checking of dimensions means what dimensions should be produced on which machines will also be written on the process sheet. So keeping that process sheet as reference, the inspection will be performed. So here on the first machine we check, means after completing all the operations on the first machine we check whether the component is perfect or not. And now during the process also, it means if you have some step turning, after finishing one step and you're going to another step also, here also we'll check the dimensions. So now when this manufacturing process is going on and if you are checking the dimensions, and that process is called as online inspection. And if the process is completely done and the product is out, and if you are making the inspection, then that inspection is called as offline inspection. So we have two inspections: online inspection and offline inspection. So it can be any manufacturing component. 100% inspection of 100% components will be done. Okay. Next, after completing the inspection, we'll go for assembly. Assembly in the sense, if you have some nut, bolt, parts, you are keeping everything and getting assembled, you are making it ready. Okay. Once the assembly is done, then we'll go for packing. After packing, we'll go for shipping. It means we'll send it to the market. So, see, from recognition of the need till performing the analysis is the scope of CAD. Now, after performing the analysis in the CAD, after drafting it, the scope is into, means the next we'll get the scope of CAM. So here what we get is from importing the model from CAD till shipping is the scope of CAM. So these are the scopes of CAD and scope of CAM. Next one is product life cycle in traditional manufacturing environment. So here, as I told you, when we have a traditional manufacturing environment, there we don't have use of computers. But here, in case of CAD/CAM environment, there is a term called computers. It means, see, here you have nothing which is done automated. So here you see, here is the need forecast. Next is the product concept. So as I told you, we have two different ways of recognizing the need. First thing is studying the problem which is existing in the society and then getting some component, or is getting the feedback from the customer and inventing some new component. So that is how we get the need. After getting the need, we go for the product concept, means how we are going to design this product. So after getting the concept, we go for the design process, and once the design, it means all the theoretical calculations have been done, then we go for part prints, in the sense making of prototype. Okay, so we make different prototypes. We see whether this prototype is working at this working condition or not. We'll make it run. So in order to design this, in order to make the prototype, in order to make the analysis, so to do all this process, it takes years together. So this is how we make the design in traditional manufacturing environment. So once the prototype is good, if you are satisfied, and then we draft it, we make all the documentations, and then we send it for the process planning. Okay, so as it is involving so much of time and so much of money, so this is the limitation you have in traditional design environment. So here in case of process planning, the methods engineer will make the process sheets, and based on the process they have made, they'll order the material and they'll order the tools. They'll order the tools. Now after in order to order the tools, they have to know the tool layout. It means which machine should get which tool at which time. Next is scheduling of manufacturing operations. It means which project and which component of that particular project should run on which machine, so that schedule will be given. And next, establishment of work standards. It means uh, what tolerance you have to use, what standards you have to use, what surface finish you have to maintain. So all the working standards will be established. And once this is done, the actual production starts. And as I told you, we have two different types of quality control, that is online inspection and offline inspection. So online inspection and offline inspection both will be done manually in the traditional manufacturing environment. And once the prototype is, once the actual component is made, then we'll send it to the market, and from there it will go to the customer, and customer will give us the feedback. So depending upon the feedback which we have got from the customer, we'll try to modify the design or manufacturing of a component. So this is how the traditional manufacturing environment of a product life cycle works. So as I told you, it is taking so much of time, money, and there's so many complications in this system, as human beings should do all the things manually. So in order to eliminate the difficulties in traditional manufacturing environment, we have gone to product life cycle in CAD/CAM environment. So here everything will be done by the computers. So here recognition of need should be done by the two ways, like taking the feedback from the customer or studying the existing environment. Now as computers are involved, when our customers enters the feedback, the computer will also make note of the complaints which they have got, or the suggestions which they have got from the customers. So that's how we use computers in recognition of need. So now after getting the need, what we do is we give the design specification and requirements. It means what are the things we require and how we are going to make. So all these definitions we'll do. And now we collect the relevant information. It means either by studying the existing components or else by taking new ideas. We make some components. And once we are ready with this, means we are ready with the idea what we have to make, then we go for the design. So here what happens is, in case of design, the theoretical calculations and 3D model along with the analysis, everything will be generated by the computer automatically. So here after making a 3D model, after making the analysis with optimization, it means we take the best out of what we have made. And after making this, if the design evaluation is good, then we go for automated documentation. And once the documentation is done, it means if you are okay with all the analysis part which you have done, then we send that from CAD environment to CAM environment. So here in manufacturing process, we'll make a process sheet, and here process sheet means production planning. We'll do a production planning. Um After making the production, we see the design requirements, uh, design requirements of new tools. In the sense, in order to produce this component, what tools do we require, what tools we need to purchase, and what tools we have to design. So all these designs will be done at this CAM process. And next, what material do we need in order to get this component? It is what quantity and what type of material we need to order. And next, NC, CNC and DNC program. I told you we have three different types of programs: NC, CNC and DNC. NC stands for numerical control. Here the program will be written on the tapes. And CNC stands for computer numerical control, where a single machine will have a single computer, and this computer will perform all, means will help the machine to perform all the operations. And DNC is direct numerical control, where one computer will operate all the machines. So now here, but in case of DNC system, though there is one computer, this one computer itself will make different operations on different machines. So that is the advantage with DNC. See, program once written on NC, numerical control tapes, it cannot be erased. Okay, but in case of CNC and DNC, you can rewrite or you can erase the program. You can make any modifications any number of times. So that is the advantage with this CNC and DNC when compared to NC. However, we learn this in details in a third unit. Okay, so now once production planning is done and the design of new tools and procurement of new tools is done, and once you have ordered the materials, once the program is written, then the actual production starts. And now during this production we'll go for quality control. As I told you, we have two different types of quality controls, that is online inspection and offline inspection. Both the things will be done by the computer itself. And now while performing this operations, means like inspection operations, if there is some error, the error will also be given to the computer. Computer will look at this error and it will make the modifications in the process automatically. So this is how the computers will help you in manufacturing. And now once the quality control is done, then we'll go for packing, then shipping, then sending to market. And once it is sent to market, we'll get the feedback from the customer. So this is how the product life cycle in CAD/CAM environment